Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the Dr. Burchett Show, and today we've got a real live kickin' dermatologist, Dr. Jennifer Sbicca, here with us today, who studied dermatology for 3 straight years and survived to tell about it.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about acne, something I love to talk about.
You love acne.
I do love acne.
Such a derm geek.
Because we can make acne so much better, so that's why I love treating acne.
So if you have ever had problems with acne and zits and all that stuff, we've got some great tips. How many tips do you have for us today?
We'll sum it up with 3 main tips.
3 tips that we're going to get to in a second. And we're going to talk about things like, does chocolate make zits worse? Does greasy foods make zits worse? Should you pop them? Stay tuned. Probably not. Okay, so what is tip 1? Like, if you've got some zits and some acne, what should we do about it?
So tip 1, if you have acne, everyone should do this, is go get a really good face wash that has actual medicine in it. Something that has been proven to help acne.
Okay, a face wash with medicine. Now I want you to give me a compare and contrast. Like, give me some face washes that don't have medicine and some that do have medicine.
Okay, so the 2 medicines you want to look for are benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid. Choose one of the 2. So
not both.
I wouldn't choose both because it just may make you too dry for the beginning. You
Okay.
can always add it later on.
Sometimes you do both, but you're saying pick one or the other, benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most
So
people,
what are some common brands that might have that in it?
common brands? There's a Neutrogena face wash that's the clear, like beige tan one.
So if you find the Neutrogena
And there's a
thing,
grapefruit one. They both have salicylic acid.
so that has salicylic acid.
That's a great one. It's
Okay.
not super drying. It's easy to go on. It's not irritating. It's non-comedogenic. Doesn't have extra fragrances in it. It's a great face wash.
You know, I remember when I was a kid, I used to use those
Yeah.
circle pads.
Panoxyl pads.
Oxy.
Oh, the Oxy pads?
I think it was Oxy.
I remember them. Some of them have salicylic acid, and some of them have benzoyl peroxide.
I think it's benzoyl peroxide. And then the other one, you had to used to put it on a cotton swab, and I would rub it. It hurt. Oh, it hurt like shit. Like, would burn, and then my face would feel whatever. And
Tight, probably.
yeah, but I mean, I could see that it got like a lot of dirt and oil and whatever out.
Yeah, those pads were really big in the 90s. I remember those pads too.
Are those no good? Should we stay away
No,
from
they're
those?
good. Any really benzoyl peroxide and salicylic acid can be used both as a wash or as a leave-on product. So you can do whatever.
What do you mean
works
a
best for you.
leave-on product?
So it can be a cream that you leave on, or it could be a pad that you wipe, or it could be a cleanser. Gotta get the terms, the derm terms.
Thinking naughty things about leave-on. Okay.
But yeah, get a number 1 is get a great cleanser. That
Okay, get a good cleanser.
It doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be brand name, doesn't have to be Proactive, but they do have those 2 things in it.
So either benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid. You gotta look on it for that.
One.
So if somebody had, you know, mild acne, if they just used that, like once a day, twice a day, is that gonna make it better? Gone?
It
what
will
would
make
you
it
say?
better
Yeah.
once a day.
Yeah.
Better. It
Once
will
a day.
definitely make it better.
Morning or night?
I would do whatever fits in best with your regimen. You can do morning or night, doesn't matter.
Okay.
The only thing I would caution viewers on is benzoyl peroxide is going to bleach almost everything you come into contact with. Your towels, your pillowcases when you go to sleep at night, your bath mat. You think you got that all off, but it's very hard to get off.
Look at that tip.
So use a white washcloth and use white pillowcases when you're starting benzoyl peroxide.
You know, I went to a dermatologist as a kid. Did you know that?
I did it.
My mother took me to a dermatologist because of acne.
Oh, your face looks great.
I know. I don't know what happened. It just went away.
Most people do grow out of their acne. There's a statistic that 80% of people are going to have acne in their teen years, and most people are going to grow out of it. Women have a little higher percentage chance of having acne into their adult years than men do, but men can have adult acne too.
I don't really have it anymore. So I had a face wash.
Yeah.
I was on antibiotics for a while.
Yeah, they're a great treatment for acne, but you have to go see a doctor for that.
Yeah, right. Okay, so this is stuff you can do at home. Okay, that was 1. Get a face wash with those 2 things in it. What's tip 2?
Tip 2 is I know you want to, but don't pick. I know probably you are bad at this. Let me guess.
Why would you say that?
I just know you. I just know you. So picking, everyone wants to pick. We all can't help it. The reason is unless you, when dermatologists or people who are performing facials do acne surgery, you have to first pierce the skin and then extrude the contents. So if you are pushing that pimple against closed skin, you're going to create a bigger hole, you're going to create scarring, and then long term you're going to create a brown spot in that area. So don't pick.
You're kind of making me like, I feel like I need to like go look at the mirror and be like, where did I cause scars and brown spots from my popping zits when I was a teenager?
And it can also cause infection, which makes the zit or the cyst.
But like, what if you've got like a really big one that's like got a major whitehead? Like, you should pop that sucker.
You can pop it, but just know the risks. Know the risks.
Be careful not to do scarring. So you would just say don't do it. Just kind of wash your face. And
wash your face, and eventually, when they get really with that whitehead on it, just a little bit of pressure is going to pop it.
Oh my God! I would say pop that sucker if it's big.
It's naughty. It's naughty.
I would say pop it. Okay, what's tip? Okay, so that's tip 2. Don't pop them. No picking.
Yeah. Tip 3 is if you are having scarring, go see a dermatologist. Acne scars are one of the few things. It's like there's a couple holy grails in dermatology, things we don't have great treatments for. Acne scarring is one of them. It is so tough to remove acne scarring once it's happened. We can do a lot to make it better.
It's permanent.
But it's permanent. I mean, Bill Murray, he's got lots of money, and he has very severe acne scarring. If you're having scarring, go see someone. There are treatments we can do. Dermatologists are great at making acne much better. It's one of the things that we do very well.
I kind of want to talk about other stars in their skin now that you brought up Bill Murray, but maybe we should save that for a different
another episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. Okay, so what things make it worse? Like, I've heard chocolate and eating oily foods. Is there any truth behind that stuff?
Yeah, the studies have shown, the Blue Journal did a study about what is
the Blue Journal?
The Blue Journal is the journal of the American Academy of Dermatology. It's the best dermatology journal.
So this is a legit dermatology journal. It's not just Mary Claire's little recommendations in the skin section.
No, Blue Journal is our revered journal in dermatology.
Okay.
So there've been a lot of studies that have shown that a diet with high glycemic index foods makes acne worse.
Surprisingly,
so
shitty food makes it worse.
But
chocolate does?
Because it's got a high glycemic index. So anything with a high glycemic index.
Potato chips.
Yeah, anything that's going to rise
white
that blood
bread,
sugar.
Yeah. Sugar?
And a high glycemic index. So carbs or just straight sugar can cause a really acute rise.
And then that might break you out or something.
It can worsen acne.
So,
the other thing that's been shown is milk. And the studies are more mixed when it comes to milk and dairy products, but it's thought potentially skim milk is worse than whole milk. But that one is still kind of being thought out and really discovered more.
So you don't necessarily tell people to like adjust milk if they've got bad acne?
No, I don't. I would say stay away from high glycemic index foods.
Yeah. What about stress?
Stress, you won't find it in a journal, but there's no doubt that stress makes every single skin condition worse, including acne. It does.
Well, I was like wondering, like, if you get stressed out and then you eat crappy food, that's like a combination. But is it the stress or is it the food?
I'd probably be the food. More studies.
What about, okay, so what is good for, besides like these tips and treatments, are there any things that are good to eat that might help acne? Or
it's more things to avoid than things that are good to eat, and things to avoid doing to your skin. So not picking,
messing with it,
not over moisturizing. A lot of people create pimples by putting on Vaseline, by putting on thick moisturizers.
What about these face masks that ladies do?
Depends
good
on
or bad for
them.
acne?
Depends on what's in them. If there's some kind of acid, like glycolic acid or a salicylic acid,
there you go,
good.
those big words again. Glycolic acid, I don't know what that means.
If it's occlusive and it's really, the point is to heavily moisturize and you're putting on a thick cream and leaving it in place, I would not do that if you have acne. And everyone who has acne loves the apricot facial scrub. Do not use it. The more you irritate your skin, the more you're moving the bacteria around. Don't use a loofah. Loofah sits in your shower, it collects bacteria.
Don't use a loofah?
No.
On your face or anything?
Just hands, not anything. That's a whole, dry skincare, but don't over moisturize with acne.
I really got to change. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do about my facials. I don't know what I'm going to do about my loofah.
Throw away the loofah. Throw away the loofah.
I'm surprised. Okay,
well, the loofah sits in your shower.
It's kind of gross.
It gets a little wet. It collects bacteria, and then you start rubbing that bacteria all over your face. Acne is a combo of a bacteria and the skin.
But it's got soap on it, though. Doesn't the soap kill the bacteria?
The loofah just is collecting the bacteria. Yeah. Everyone throw away the loofahs. Yeah.
Okay, no other things that like help acne? What about sex? Everybody likes to think sex helps everything. Is that good for your skin?
I've never had any.
You heard it here first. Sex
Never
is
heard any
excellent
evidence
for
that sex
acne.
helps your
So if you need to use that because you have bad skin with your partner, don't be afraid to do it. You can
It's
use
not
my name.
contagious. Don't be afraid. It's not contagious.
And it's not like as bad as a loofah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could be. But... Good. Well, so let's review the things that we talked about. Let me see if I've got this straight.
Okay.
3 tips. 1, get a good soap with medicine that's got either benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid.
Exactly. No harsh cleansers, no scrubs, no apricot scrub, just a gentle soap without fragrance.
Tip 2, don't tell me, I'm going to remember it, is don't pick.
Don't pick. Even
Don't
though
do
you want
it.
to, you're going to create scarring.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Even though it feels so good.
Feels good.
Feels so good. Number 3 is don't tell me. If you have scarring, go to a dermatologist because they can do something about it earlier, and once it's there, it's permanent.
Yes, the prevention is key with acne.
And then avoid those high glycemic index, basically processed carbs
foods,
and sugar. And don't be
And
afraid
maybe
to
milk if you're
add
good
some
to do it.
activities in there to help your
That's
skin.
not proven. That's the Larry show.
That's part of the recommendation from me. Maybe not the expert. You gotta throw a little bit of, truth and
Fun.
needs to be studied. Okay, thanks. So what are we going to talk about? What's our next show?
I think our next show, I love sun protection and skincare with sun protection.
Lame. Wear more sunscreen.
Oh
Lame.
no, it's so interesting. It's great.
Why should we care about that?
You should care about it for prevention of skin cancer, but also because we're all a little vain and we want to look good forever.
So cancer sounds bad. I don't want cancer. Do you want cancer? So we got
Everyone
tips
wants
on
to
how
look
to
better.
avoid that. But then staying young, looking young,
Yeah.
skin. I've heard, is this true? I've heard the #1 cause of wrinkles, 90% of it for most people, the sun.
Oh yes,
Is that
without
true?
a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So how can you prevent 90% of wrinkles?
Sun protection.
Sun protection.
Yeah, get some sunscreen.
Amazing. Okay, good. We're going to talk about that next. Thank you for tuning into the Dr. Burchett Show. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and this podcast and whatever I'm doing with this thing so you get more of this good stuff. And check out Dr. Jennifer Sbicca at her website, Sbicca.com.
Spiccaderm.com.
Spiccaderm.
Sbicca, D-E-R-M.
How do you spell Sbicca?
S-B, as in boy, I-C-C-A. I've done that a lot.
Spiccaderm.com.
I'll see you there.